The relationships among the old Turkic peoples, ancient Korean kingdoms, and the Tang dynasty of China were complex and multifaceted, characterized by alliances, conflicts, and cultural exchanges. The interactions among these entities were influenced by geopolitical considerations, trade interests, and military strategies. Here is a detailed exploration of these relationships. The Tang dynasty, which ruled China from 618 to 907 CE, had significant interactions with various Turkic peoples who occupied the vast steppes to the north and west of China. The most notable of these were the Gökturks, who established powerful khanates that controlled large territories across Central Asia. The relationship between the Tang dynasty and the Gökturks was characterized by both alliances and conflicts. Initially, the Tang dynasty formed alliances with the eastern Gökturks to counter the power of rival states and secure their northern borders. However, as the Göktürk Khaganate grew stronger, it posed a threat to Tang interests, leading to military confrontations. In 630 CE, Tang forces, under the command of Emperor Taizong, defeated the eastern Göktürk Khaganate, capturing their leader Ilig Khagan. This victory allowed the Tang to exert control over the steppes and establish a protectorate over the Turkic territories. The Tang dynasty also employed a strategy of divide and rule, supporting rival Turkic factions to weaken their unity and maintain Tang dominance in the region. Despite the conflicts, there were significant cultural and economic exchanges between the Tang dynasty and the Turkic peoples. The Silk Road, which passed through Turkic territories, facilitated trade between China and the West, bringing wealth and diverse cultural influences to the Tang court. Turkic warriors also served as mercenaries in the Tang military, contributing to the empire's defense and expansion efforts. The Korean peninsula during the Tang period was divided among three major kingdoms: Goguryeo, Baekje, and Silla. These kingdoms had complex relationships with each other and with the Tang dynasty, marked by shifting alliances and conflicts. Goguryeo, the northernmost of the Korean kingdoms, had a contentious relationship with the Tang dynasty. Goguryeo was a powerful state that frequently clashed with both the Sui and Tang dynasties. The Tang, seeking to expand their influence in Northeast Asia, launched multiple military campaigns against Goguryeo. In 645 CE, Emperor Taizong led a major campaign against Goguryeo, but was unable to secure a decisive victory. Subsequent Tang emperors continued efforts to subjugate Goguryeo, culminating in the joint Tang-Silla campaign that ultimately led to the fall of Goguryeo in 668 CE. The Tang dynasty established control over the former Goguryeo territories, although resistance from local leaders persisted. Baekje, located in the southwestern part of the Korean peninsula, also had interactions with the Tang dynasty. Baekje maintained a complex relationship with both Tang China and Japan, seeking to balance its alliances to counter the threat from Silla. In 660 CE, the Tang dynasty, in alliance with Silla, launched a successful campaign against Baekje, leading to its collapse. Silla, in the southeastern part of the peninsula, formed a strategic alliance with the Tang dynasty to counter the power of Goguryeo and Baekje. This alliance was instrumental in Silla's efforts to unify the Korean peninsula. With Tang support, Silla defeated Baekje in 660 CE and Goguryeo in 668 CE, leading to the establishment of the unified Silla period. The alliance with Tang China brought significant cultural and technological influences to Silla. Buddhism, Confucianism, and Chinese administrative practices were adopted and integrated into Silla society, contributing to the kingdom's political and cultural development. The interactions among the Turkic peoples, Korean kingdoms, and the Tang dynasty were influenced by their respective geopolitical interests and the broader context of regional power dynamics. The Tang dynasty's military campaigns against Goguryeo and its alliances with Silla and the Eastern Gökturks illustrate the strategic importance of military and diplomatic alliances. The Tang sought to stabilize its borders, secure trade routes, and expand its influence through these alliances. Cultural exchanges were facilitated by the movement of people and goods along trade routes such as the Silk Road. The spread of Buddhism from India to China and subsequently to Korea and Central Asia is a notable example of cultural diffusion. Chinese culture, including art, literature, and religious practices, had a profound impact on both the Turkic peoples and the Korean kingdoms. Economic interactions were driven by the desire to control trade routes and access valuable resources. The Tang dynasty's control over the Silk Road allowed it to benefit from the trade of silk, spices, precious metals, and other goods. The Korean kingdoms, particularly Silla, engaged in trade with both China and Japan, facilitating economic prosperity and cultural exchange. In conclusion, the relationships among the old Turkic peoples, ancient Korean kingdoms, and the Tang dynasty were characterized by a complex interplay of alliances, conflicts, and cultural exchanges. These interactions were shaped by geopolitical strategies, trade interests, and the movement of people and ideas across regions. The legacy of these relationships is evident in the cultural and historical connections that continue to influence East Asia today.